Hello again, Ian Stoker with Mastermind Games, back with Nyx from the Plague Cometh box set of Malifaux. Now, starting off with Woodstain Brown 09160. So Nyx in life was Hamlin's dog, and when Plague devoured Hamlin, Nyx was slain by the same swarm of rats, and a fragment of Plague's power, as it was overwhelming Hamlin, leached into Nyx and revived him as a sort of spirit, undead. Nyx is the only thing Hamlin ever loved in life, and now in death, Nyx continues to follow the entity that has taken the form of his former master. And Stained Ivory 0914, or no, Yellow Bone 09143. Not too much else about this undead doggy. But the first version of Hamlin was on a 40 to 50 millimeter base and did feature Nyx. He is a terrier, or was, and has seemingly grown in size since his ascension to undeath. That's about all I've got on lore for him. Just a doggo. Just an undead doggo there. It's a little more lore than the canine remains, so. I'm going to be playing around with the highlighting and shading here to try to give him a ghostly appearance. We'll see how well I pull it off, because it is going to involve a fair amount of experimentation. And then Deep Red 09002, I'm just going to do a little bit of this on his tongue. Or try to. And then Tarnished Steel 09206. I'm not dropping hundreds of frames a second. Okay, leave that be for a minute. Try and move on. Okay. Other Light 09062. I think I got too much water in there. You know what, I will just roll with it and see what I get. This video is already being earmarked for experimentation anyway, so. if I nick the bone here, that's or the rats, that's okay. Yeah, it has too much water in it. I'm gonna thin that out. But conversely, this is also looking like it might be proof of concept for what I'm thinking about trying, so we'll see if this works out the way I think it will. Okay. A little more on the top of the head. And Cloudy Gray 09089. Let's see if I can coax a little more out of this. I know I can get a little bit. Might be enough. Let's go ahead and switch over to a slightly larger brush, and for the sake of speed, being careful not to nick the feet. Okay, let that dry and then I can start shading. Alright, I'm going to experiment with the shading here with Linen White 09061. See if we can get a more ghostly appearance. Just going to do this over the whole model and see what we end up with. On top here, and I'm thinned it out with about half paint, half water. Let that dry and then see what we get. Okay. That's it. Gonna do a little pure black 09037 over the rats, and how an undead ghost dog can manage to spew out live rats is, well, this is a fantasy world where magic is a commonplace thing, so ultimately we go from there. I'm thinning this out 2 to 3 times more than I would typically. That weird reverb again, I gotta talk a little softer. Get that down there. Just brush that excess off with my thumb and let that dry a bit more before I add one final layer of shading, and then we'll try some highlighting. Okay, one more shading, and this is going to be a pseudo lighting effect with pale green 09012. Going to thin this out a little more than usual. Well, I suppose I shouldn't say the last layer because I'm forgetting about the base again, but It's the last layer of shading for the actual model. I'm trying to get a little more than usual in the eyes. Okay. Get the shade on the base, and then I can highlight in detail and see what I end up with. Okay. Stormy Gray 09088. This is the last shade. So we'll see if the highlights do what I want to do with the NYX here. Again, this whole thing is fairly experimental, so let's see what I end up with. And hey, if this turns out ridiculous, well, at least you learned what not to do. And a nice solid coat there. A little bit extra where the two paws here touch the base. And let that go for a bit. Alright, time to highlight. So, alright, that's a little loud. Let's turn that speaker. Okay, that should fix the reverb problem. So, Shield Brown 09161. I'll be using a dry brushing technique. So with that in mind, taking a ragged feathered brush, something along the lines of this. No water, just straight paint, and rub your brush out on a paper towel that looks like it's got nothing left in it, and then lightly dust the area to be affected. Always clean your brush out after. And then Blood Red 09003. This was always going to end up being kind of funky from the get-go since I'm experimenting here. Creamy Ivory 09144. I can get a grip here. It's got too much paint in it. Starting on one section at a time so as not to lose track of where I've been and where I need to go. Not much but a bit next to the ribs. And Ghost White 09063. This will go on the bulk of NYX. rumbling is a lightning storm coming in. I'm not worried about it. It's been so hot lately, a nice rainstorm would help cool things down nicely. And then True Silver 0909, or no, that's Misty Bragg, or the wrong one. There we go. 09207 True Silver. They look similar, but one's metallic, one isn't. Alright, make sure I'm not dropping hundreds of frames a second here, because that's been a problem. On the silver, going on the collar. And now Misty Gray 09090. Finish up the base. Not too bad for a ghost dog look. So things to remember for the future, but right there I got too much of the paint in the brush. So something worth remembering in the future, but definitely think I'd have to make some modifications if I did something like this again. But again, not too terribly bad. So pure black 09037 to finish. And I'm just going to switch to a flat head and line the base. If I can get a grip on my brush. Nice thing about the dry brushing step is the paint dries almost instantly, so you can handle your model quickly if you need to. And there we go. Nix. Okay. Continuing with some of the most iconic models that go with Hamlin. But until then, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.